Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to an exciting episode of Two Guys,
a podcast.
And we're rolling out with NBA talk tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir. And we're actually watching a game right now.
Yeah, Rockets, Clippers. Hopefully the Clippers do not take a 3-game lead. I hope. I pray to God. I don't want to see a 3-game lead.
Well,
so no, it'll be a 2-game lead.
A 2-game lead, yeah.
It'll be up 3-1. Yeah, okay. But here we are, sitting watching the Rockets, Clippers, and we figured, let's make a podcast. Like we always do.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of times people call me Mr. Random because I just say random things at random times
so true.
and random situations. So why not be random right now?
And let's, I guess, recapping everyone. Last week we had our 90s talk, our throwback to the 90s.
Right, which, I don't know if you guys know. Or should we tell them?
Should we tell them what?
You know, that we're going to...
I mean, the awesome news that we hit 50 likes on our Facebook page, which, because of that, triggers our new fun contest.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like we're kind of like Groupon. If you buy a certain Groupon, or if you buy so many, you get like exclusive Groupon deals. So it's kind of like that. So for hitting 50 likes, Khaled will tell you what you guys want to.
So how we're gonna do it, and this is gonna be happening throughout. Once a month, we're going to do a little giveaway to our fans that helped us hit 50. Well, we're actually at 52 likes now. Awesome. Now that I think about it. And this is going to go out to our diehard fans that actually listen to the podcast.
That's the most important
The key
thing.
here is they're going to have to listen to each and every episode. It's not starting this week, unfortunately, because I was lazy and did not come up with the question for this week. But starting on next week's podcast. So that'll be the 19th.
Okay.
The episode that gets posted on the 19th of May. We're gonna have a question in there, and that question, at the end of the month, you're gonna have to provide us with the answer for all 4 questions for the month. Pretty much, all 4 answers to the questions. You get all 4 right, you got a chance to win. You don't, I'm sorry. Better luck next time.
And your chances are pretty good. I mean, it's like a 1 in 52 chance.
Yeah, and we do encourage using Google for when searching for these answers. Some might be easy, like what's 1 + 1?
Well, it depends. Are we talking about at night or during the day?
That's a good question. But no, so we're gonna have some fun with this. Some of them are gonna be some throwbacks as well.
Wait, I know the answer.
You do?
Yeah. We're at nighttime, right?
Yes.
Well, right now it's nighttime. So ask me the question again.
What's 1 + 1?
These nuts.
Nobody got time for that.
Got him.
God, dude, you just had to go there.
Got him. Have you seen that video?
Yes, I've seen it. I'm tired of it, but I will get a soundboard edit for it. Don't worry.
Okay, cool.
But
that
you know what? No,
that's a throwback.
Forget it. I'm gonna throw the first question out right now. Let's see if anyone gets it. And it might sound like a math question, but it's not. There's actually you will need Google for this one. And the question is going to be, what is 7 times 13? You give me the right answer for that, and you're on your way. Trust me, it's a throwback to a nice comedic duo, and that's a big hint right there. A comedic duo. 7 times 13. But moving on, we're gonna jump right into our NBA talk. We're gonna talk some playoffs, championship predictions, MVP.
Wait, quick question. So, are we doing all 4 questions in this?
No, we're doing 1 question per podcast for the rest of the month.
So it's 1 giveaway a month?
Yes. So they got to get all 4 questions right.
Okay.
That's how we know they actually listen to the podcast. I know we're being dictators on this.
Now let me ask you something. Are you looking for the 7 times 13? Are you looking for like a specific?
There's a specific answer. And like I said, there's a comedic duo that will help you with this. It is very it's very interesting.
I'm about to look it up.
You're about to look it up?
I'm about to look it up because I just want to make sure everybody has a fair shot. Because if you're looking for like a specific, it's like if somebody said like who's on first.
Yes.
Like are you talking about who is legitimately on first, or are you talking about the comedy duo?
So you give me the answer for 7 times 13 by that comedic duo, and trust me, you'll get it right.
Okay. Well, you know what? Khaled is giving you a lot of.
There's a lot of clues in there.
So, okay, cool.
But moving on. So we got a lot of stuff on the plate right now. Let's see what we got. Start off with.
Well, how about we start off like royalty? When you talk about royalty, who's the first person you talk about?
The King and Queen of England.
Okay. Who's number one?
The Queen of England.
Well, it's because there's no king. But if we had a king...
It'd be the King of England.
King of England. So, how about we talk about the king of the NBA?
Kobe Bryant?
This is not a throwback. This is not a throwback Thursday.
No, we're talking about LeBron. King James, of course.
Yes.
You know what? I'm going to go out there and say it. Far better than Kobe Bryant. We'll pick him over Kobe Bryant. Even if Kobe was in his prime, I'm taking LeBron over Kobe.
I'm not going to have this argument with you. I'm tired of having Tom Brady arguments with you. I'm tired of having Kobe Bryant arguments with you. I'm tired of having...
Arguments in general?
Oh, no. Just the arguments that we've had 1,000 times. I would pick Kobe Bryant over 90%
of the NBA right now?
Of every NBA player to ever play the game.
Mm-hmm.
But I would pick LeBron over Kobe.
Exactly.
And the only reason why, because of his attitude.
Oh yeah, he has one of those down to earth. Well, when I say down to earth, I mean he's not going to be pompous and arrogant about it. You know, he
right.
tries to make the players around him better.
Right. And the only thing that I would say to defend Kobe is when Kobe decided to step back and be the facilitator that people always, knocked him for not being. What happened? His team got worse, which proved that he has to be the one making the shots to get the points. Yes, he missed a lot. Yes, he had good players, but when he facilitated the ball, do you remember that season when he was healthy the entire season? I think Dwight Howard was on the team, or it was a year removed from that. But he became a facilitator, and the team got worse.
Yeah, I remember that.
And do you remember one time there was a playoff game where he had 0 assists, but he had like 47 points?
It was funny because you mentioned team got worse. What happened though when he got hurt and was out for the rest of the season? The team actually got better.
Well,
that's the funny thing that I think right there is that when he became a facilitator, the team got worse.
But that's really neither here nor there. I mean, you're talking about a team that had a coach that didn't know what they were. They had 2 or 3 coaches that didn't know what they were doing.
It was bad.
And can Kobe be a diva? Yeah.
Yes.
And at the same time, do you know who the owners of the Lakers are? And when I say this is not knocking male or female. It's just I've heard her in an interview, and she does not know what she's doing.
I don't think. I honestly, I agree with you there. I don't think the ownership of Lakers knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing when Phil Jackson was there because he kind of was.
He's like the Peyton Manning of the.
Exactly, he was the guy controlling all the strings. But once Phil Jackson left, they kind of fell apart. Anyway, going back to LeBron, the one thing I got to get into here is I don't understand Cleveland's love-hate-love relationship with LeBron.
Well, it's simple. Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Name one of your ex-girlfriends.
God. I'll go with Amanda.
Okay, Amanda. Now let's say she broke up with you, right?
Yeah.
Well, you loved her when you were together, right?
Yeah.
She broke up with you.
Yeah.
You hate her, right? She comes back to you. You love her again, right?
That depends. But that's just me.
But let's say she came back to you the way that LeBron came back to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Everything was going to be better, and everything got better. Everything was better. You love her again, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I understand.
You see where I'm going there?
Yeah, but okay, this is my thing. I found it hilarious. LeBron pretty much for 7 years was in Cleveland. Was it 7, 8 years was in Cleveland, right? He took a team that outside from himself really had no legitimate starters. Everybody on that team would have been a bench player on any other team out there, right? And all he kept asking for was, give me some starters. Give me some good players. They never did that for him. So what'd he do? He says, okay, you guys don't want to give me starters. I need help. By himself. Remember, LeBron took Cleveland to the championship game.
The year before, in the years before when LeBron was with Cleveland, they got better. They were good, but they weren't finals good. Nobody predicted them going to the finals.
But think about it. Imagine if you had put like maybe one other player that could somewhat hold his own and be a starter on an NBA team.
And albeit they gave him Shaq way too late in the game.
Oh, they gave him Shaq after Shaq's career was pretty much done.
He was still good when he took the Heat to the finals, and even the year after that. If they would have got Shaq
earlier.
I think like in 06.
Yeah,
I think they could have went to the final.
When Dwayne Wade got him.
Right.
You know, when Dwayne Wade got Shaq at the perfect time for him.
You know what? I'm just gonna say this for like 10 seconds. Dwayne Wade, to me, great player, but overrated. He would not have won a championship without Shaq, and he would have not won another without LeBron.
No, I'll say this. When the year he had Shaq, yes, he was Mr. Big Shot, but he needed Shaq to help him get over that hump.
Right. And I'll agree that it was because of Dwayne Wade that they won, but he would not have gotten to the level that he needed to be.
You see, it's because Dwayne Wade, once again, Miami Heat, were they a better team than Cleveland? Yes, they were at the time. Did they have superior players to Cleveland? Not really. Not really. Some of those players that were starting outside of Dwayne Wade and Shaq, you wonder if they'd even start on another NBA team. But Shaq was that one extra player that LeBron could have used at that time to get over that hump.
Time, yeah.
You know, but like you said, when Shaq showed up in Cleveland, bad timing. You know, it was pretty much Shaq's. That was it for Shaq. You know.
Yeah. And too much was expected of Shaq.
Oh yeah.
Even though he was still a good player.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's a big boy. He can't get up and down the court like he used to.
But no, like I said, what I was saying was like it just blew my mind how, you know, when he asked for some players, they never delivered. So he says, okay, I'm going to go to a team that has players and they're willing to put players around me, right?
And weren't they like trying to like? Well, didn't they trade away one of the players that he liked the most on the team?
Yes, I can't remember who it was, but they did.
Like Zagowski? Was it Zagowski? It was like a really weird last name, all right?
The one player that he was actually happy to play with.
The one player that... How many players can you say went to an All-Star game that LeBron James did not go to?
That's true.
He was the only person ever. And albeit, he was a rookie or he was like a year or two into the league. Mm-hmm. But still, he got picked by... It's a representative of the Cavaliers over LeBron.
You know, and did we just see that 3-pointer be hit by who was that? Who is he?
He looks like Duck Dynasty.
So
that thing was like, it was beautiful. It was just right off his hands, a beautiful arc. It's like it was made to go. You know, it's like the trajectory was on point. Like.
There was no. It was like it left his hand. You're like, okay, that's going in somehow. It just happened. Anyway, we digress. But
yeah, I mean, LeBron. Here's the thing. He turned bench players. He made them better. Now, it's gonna sound weird because they were starters, but I still don't think that they would have been starters without LeBron because
exactly.
They went to nothing afterwards.
Exactly.
It's like when
they won with 12. The season after LeBron left, the only change was LeBron left the team, and they won 12 games. They went from a 60-win team to 12-win team.
Right?
Are you kidding me?
And that's kind of what I was talking about, the difference between LeBron and Kobe. LeBron could facilitate the ball to people, given a good opportunity to make a shot.
Exactly.
Could make the shot. Kobe facilitates the ball to people who. Either Kobe didn't facilitate it at the right time.
He puts him in bad positions for shots, to be honest, sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, majority of the times, actually.
And let's be honest, I mean, Lamar Odom, he's awesome on the inside, right?
But outside, though, that's a different story. That's like Corey Brewer and Josh Smith. Granted, they'll occasionally make the threes, but I'd much rather have him do a layup or a dunk any day.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so LeBron left Cleveland
and what they
went
do?
To the Heat.
What did they do when he left Cleveland? They burnt his shirts. They said he owes them. You know, if it wasn't for Cleveland, he'd be nothing. Dude, they tore him up.
Okay, first of all, Cleveland fans, you guys are idiots. Because if the Detroit Pistons... See, the funny thing is that the Detroit Pistons were already an NBA Finals team. How in the heck did they go from winning the finals to getting the number 2 pick in the next draft? I mean, because they made some deals and somehow for some reason I don't know why. I think the only reason they didn't draft Carmelo Anthony was because they already had an amazing team. They weren't going to spend the money on what Carmelo was worth because he was worth it at the time. So they picked Darko Milicic, whatever. But if for whatever reason Cleveland would have picked Darko or Carmelo and Detroit would have picked either Carmelo or let's just say they picked LeBron.
Yeah.
Do you think Detroit's gonna? I think you know what. I'm not even going to ask the question. I'm just going to make the statement. LeBron made LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron made LeBron.
Nobody
exactly.
makes LeBron. No team makes LeBron.
No, if anything, LeBron made Cleveland relevant.
Yeah.
Think about it. When was the last time the Cavaliers won a championship? Never.
No.
Never.
And you want to know what else? LeBron going to Cleveland gave people jobs because more people come into the stadium.
Need more security. Need more
to the arena.
Need more vendors to handle the crowds.
More security. Gave people jobs. People lost jobs. People. I think they did they made a statement. They said like 40 to 60% of people lost their jobs because LeBron left.
And it's sad to see a team. Like I said, a team shouldn't have that drastic of a drop off by losing one player. You know, we'll use Miami Heat as the example, right? LeBron went to Miami. They won 60 games a season. You know, they won 2 championships. They lost in 2 finals. We'll get to that. That's a funny. We gotta bring up that stat here in a minute, though.
Okay.
That funny. It's a funny stat about LeBron in the playoffs. But no, right? And then he leaves Miami. Miami, you'd think, okay, maybe they might pull a Cleveland, win only 12 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. You know what Miami ended up doing? With pretty much the big differences, they lost Ray Allen. They lost LeBron.
Well, I wouldn't really say they lost Ray Allen. I think he
just went his way.
Yeah, because Ray Allen,
he's a guy you bring in close to the playoffs to help you a little bit. Not really a guy that you put out there to start for your team or anything like that. Yeah. But anyway, so the big loss was LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Miami actually won. I think that they won like 40 games or something like that, and they were in fight for the 8th seed. Are we gonna start a Hunger Game battle now? Is that it?
No.
Is that what's going on?
Sorry, I'm silencing my phone.
Yeah, you better do that.
Well, I'm just salute to District 12.
But anyway, I mean, but you know what the difference was between Miami and Cleveland?
What's that?
LeBron said, "If you want me to come to your team, you got to put some players around me." What did Miami do? Don't worry, we'll find a way to get players around you.
Yeah, but they weren't. Well, I mean,
Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh was sufficient enough.
Oh well, yeah, okay, yeah. You're talking about them, yeah.
You know, that's all he really needed. Remember, LeBron by himself, and once again, it's a little bit of an exaggeration, but technically, LeBron by himself took the Cleveland Cavaliers to the championship game.
It was because of him that the team got better,
right? You put all you need really is one serviceable player, maybe 2, just to be on the safe side, and you got a championship contender right there. And what did Miami do? They gave him Dwayne Wade, who, granted, Dwayne Wade is past his prime. He's not the same player he was back in 06.
He's still effective, though.
He's effective. But you remember the first 2 seasons, LeBron pretty much had to carry Miami?
Well, you do realize why... I was going to say season 1. You do realize why year 1 was the way that it was, right?
Yeah.
Because... What did you hear when you heard LeBron was going to the Heat? Whose team was it?
Oh, they were still trying to figure out whether it was LeBron teams or Dwayne Wade's team.
People were getting mad because there were some. I'm sorry to say this, but there were some Dwayne Wade nut riders who said that it's Dwayne Wade's team. And in my head, the entire time, I'm like, okay, it's 2010. LeBron's coming to the team. Supposedly, it's Dwayne Wade's team, but Dwayne Wade hasn't won a championship in 5 years.
But I'll give you the argument most of them would use. LeBron hasn't won a championship at all.
No, but I'm saying, like, for LeBron, the best player in the NBA, quite possibly the best player of all time.
No, me personally, if LeBron was to come to Houston Rockets, this isn't James Harden team anymore. No, I'm sorry.
No, it's LeBron.
It's LeBron's team.
We were actually, we were on James Harden's nuts so much this entire time until LeBron became a free agent. And who's the one player that immediately came up as to who we were going to trade away?
Oh, it was Harden.
Yeah,
it was straight up. Oh, we could trade away James Harden.
And we were talking about getting Carmelo and LeBron. Yeah. Which, in a way, I think it was possible, but we were just going to lose a lot.
Yeah, because Lynn and Ashik were definitely going to be gone, Harden was going to have to be gone. Parsons, we weren't going to be able to re-sign Parsons. I mean, it was pretty much like we would have gutted the team, bring in Carmelo, LeBron, and have Dwight Howard, and that was it.
Yeah, we were going to have 3 amazing starters and
a bunch of
crap load of nobody.
And pretty much the Cleveland Cavaliers after that.
Right. Well, I wouldn't say nobody's because there have been some rookies on this team that have emerged.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, but
still, just the uncertainty of it.
Exactly. But you know, the whole, like I said, the whole thing with LeBron in Cleveland is it just blows my mind. And once again, he becomes a free agent. Cleveland fans at first were still like, "Oh, he's just going to re-sign in Miami. We don't love him." Blah blah blah. Then he sends the letter out and he says he's coming back to Cleveland. And what's the first thing that started happening? "Oh, LeBron, we love you."
Oh, they started buying his jersey.
It's like, really? Last year when they were playing the Spurs, you guys were praying to God the Heat lost to the Spurs. The year before that, same thing. The year before that, they were hoping that they would. Who did they play? It was the Spurs.
They played the Spurs twice. The Mavericks.
The Mavericks.
And I think they beat. Well, they beat the Spurs.
They lost to the Mavericks. They lost to the Spurs. Who's the other team they beat? Yeah, now we gotta go through every team in the West to try to figure out who they beat.
Well, let's do it. It wasn't the Rockets. It wasn't the Mavericks.
It wasn't the
Spurs once. It wasn't the Grizzlies. It wasn't Golden State. Are you gonna look it up?
I'm gonna look it up. This is killing me right now.
I'm sure I can figure it out before you figure it out.
2012, right?
So they lost in 11. They won in 12.
Oh, Oklahoma. Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
OKC.
4-1.
Yeah.
We thought that was going to be the greatest series of all time.
But, you know, the knock on James Harden, he didn't show up.
True.
He did not show up.
Yeah, but you're talking about a 6-man.
Honestly, okay.
Why wasn't James Harden starter?
That is the question you should be asking.
I mean, okay, it's like saying telling somebody, no, you're going to get 40 hours, but we're not going to make you full time.
You know, like seriously, if you think about it, I would have like why didn't the Thunder just straight up go Westbrook, Harden, Durant as their starting three, as 3 of the starters?
Okay, James Harden is a guard, right?
Yeah.
Who are the 2 guards on the Oklahoma City?
It's Westbrook and I don't know. Now you gotta make me look it up again for 2013.
Because right now we're gonna compare because everybody knew how good James Harden was. He was the sixth man of the year. Everybody knew how great he was going to be. So if everybody knew that, then why wouldn't they make him a starter? Now I understand he's going to get 25 to 30 minutes a game anyway. Why not make him a starter?
Okay, we're gonna let's see who the starters.
Because now we're going to compare James Harden, who he was and what he is now, to whoever was in his spot.
Oh yeah, let's see.
Well, let me ask you. I'm not the greatest basketball guy in the world. Is there a big difference between a shooting guard and a point guard? Is it harder for a guard to transition to the other?
Cephalosha.
He was a guard? I thought he was a big guy.
He plays guard and forward.
Okay. I thought it was a forward.
But that's who they're using for his defensive abilities.
Okay, so I understand defense beats offense every single time, but when you have offensive beasts like Westbrook, Durant, and Harden, and because what we knew Harden could be, that's easily 30 points per.
You got to think about it though. From let's look at Oklahoma now, right? Do you really think they thought Harden was going to be as good as he is? Look at what we traded away for him. All we traded was really Jeremy Lamb and Kevin Martin. And Lamb is still with the team. Martin's not. I mean, for what we got out of it, I think the Rockets walked out with the better on that trade there.
Were there any politics when it came to that?
Harden wanted a max contract with OKC. They weren't willing to negotiate with him before the season or during the season. They're saying we'll wait till after the season. He's like, no, I want it now. And they're like, yeah. Yeah, so, but okay, so let's go back to LeBron though. He's just Cleveland. I just don't understand how they could go from.
Well, no, let's really think about it. We can understand. We know why, because that's how everybody is. Me and you aren't like that because we're not freaking diehard gonna kill somebody if they leave the city. You know, those people that do that, they're just. I'm sorry to say, but you guys are stupid.
Yeah,
I understand. You want to feel relevant because somebody plays in your team, on your team, or in your city. But come on, for you to hate somebody because they left you. Oh well, you know. I mean, every team does what they have to do to win. Mm-hmm. And the Heat, you want to call it cheating? Okay, you know what I call it? 2 championships in 4 years. You want to call the New York Yankees the cheaters? You know what I call them?
27 rings?
27 rings.
Yeah. Insane, huh? And you know what? Boston Red Sox, they didn't become relevant until they went and brought their championships too, if you think about it.
Yeah, and some people, for some reason, people seem to think that just because Boston wasn't winning championships, and just because Boston wasn't known for getting like those amazing players like the Yankees were, because you know they were rivals. Mm-hmm. Boston's payroll was bigger than more than half the other teams.
The 2 years that they won the championship, highest payroll in Major League Baseball. Kind of funny, huh? Anyway, let's switch gears here a little bit from LeBron, and let's jump into a little bit of some of the of his current team and their playoff status.
So they're playing the Bulls right now.
Yeah, they're playing the Bulls in the second round, and man, at first I didn't think the Bulls would give them this much trouble, but the moment Kevin Love went down, it looks like this could be going all the way to Game 7.
Yeah, and what's up with Derrick Rose?
Derrick Rose, it's like one night he is old Derrick Rose, another night it's like, God, dude, you suck.
There have been some players in sports histories that came in and were going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread, got injured,
and then just fell off.
Could never, and even if they weren't nagging injuries, mm-hmm. they just never went back to being amazing.
Well, let's look at Derrick Rose though. Okay, the dude tears his ACL, mm-hmm. comes back, and within a couple weeks tears it again,
or something in his knee, right?
Yeah, that's the ACL's in the knee. Tears the same one twice, back-to-back seasons. Goes out, comes back, plays a couple months, and re-injures the same knee. Luckily, I mean, you gotta wonder, you know, if it happens one more time, do you think he's done? I think so.
Maybe.
I think so, but you know, right now the series is tied up 2 games apiece, and like I said, I think this could go down to a game 7. I mean, LeBron had to pull off like a ridiculous shot today to give them the win, mm-hmm. and it was a buzzer. It was pretty much like at the buzzer. So,
I think it'll go 6 games.
You think it'll go 6? Who you got? Cleveland or
Cleveland?
Cleveland.
Cleveland's gonna go all the way.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
They'll find a way to. They're gonna find a way to get out of this series, and they're gonna find a way to beat whoever they go up against.
The other big matchup in the East, actually, I have not watched a single one of their games, is the Hawks versus the Wizards.
The Hawks. Who would have ever thought the Hawks would be this good? Okay,
the one thing that I like about the Hawks is, remember when the Pistons won the championship? Mm-hmm. The most recent set, of course. You know, when they had Chauncey Billups,
Ben Wallace,
Rip Hamilton. When they had that team. Mm-hmm. They didn't have an almighty dominant player that's going to take over the game and put up like 40 points a night. Mm-hmm. Right? They didn't have that guy. What they had was a team. You know, they had a bunch of 5 starters that played well with each other, and each one was putting up roughly like 15 to 20 points a game. Mm-hmm. You know, they didn't have that guy that would put up 40 or 50 points. They had a team that each individual was putting up double digits per game.
Right, and if Kobe would have had players like that, oh my God! Can you imagine how many more championships Kobe would have won?
Can you imagine if LeBron had teams like that? I don't think he'd ever left Cleveland. But no, I think
he would have done it without a big guy.
Exactly. I think that's what's making Atlanta so good right now, is that they have a team mm-hmm. that, you know, they don't have that one. Oh, this guy, you got to double and triple team this guy because he's going to take over the entire game.
It kind of reminds me of the Spurs. Everybody knows their role, and their role is to win. Exactly. Not one person is the team.
You know, some teams, like, okay, Houston kind of needs James Harden to be that guy that's like, all right, give me the ball, I got to take over. They mm-hmm. need him to be that player, mm-hmm. right? LA, they need Kobe to be that player. Any team that LeBron's on, unfortunately, they kind of need him to do that, but at the same time, LeBron tries to be the guy that's like, look, I'll take over when I have to take over. Outside of that, I'm going to make sure every one of you guys are putting up some points on this board, too, because I'm not going to do it by myself. And that's what separates him from, I think, all the other, like, big... I think he's a better comparison of Jordan, you know? Jordan will go out there and he's like, I'll do me, and I'll go out there and dominate if I have to dominate. But all you guys that are playing, you guys got to put up some points too.
Right, and they got to do their part by being in the right place at the right time.
Exactly.
Because LeBron would never pass you the ball if you're in a
bad spot.
Right.
Exactly. He looks for the open man that has a clean look. You know, he's like you said, he's not gonna put you in a spot where you have two guys with their hands up in your face and you're gonna try and take a shot. You know.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, I haven't really watched the Hawks Wizards series. But I think the Hawks are up right now. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure.
Let me ask you. Do you remember who the 4-5s were in both leagues?
The what?
Like the 4 seed and the 5 seed, because that series is always the best one.
I think they already went though.
Well, I mean, obviously there's been a winner of that series.
Yeah.
But
let me look at my stats here real quickly.
Because I remember when the Rockets would always be number 5 or number 4.
We always get matched up against the Spurs or the Mavericks.
Oh my god, I hated the Mavericks.
I don't think anyone likes the Mavericks. So the
no. I mean, I respect the Mavericks as a team. I just hated how good they were. They're like the freaking St. Louis Cardinals. You can't hate them because they're good, but you hate them because they're beating you. You know.
So the 4-5 seed was Washington versus Toronto. Washington actually swept Toronto 4-0.
Okay.
And Washington's actually up on Atlanta right now 2-1.
Okay. What about in the Western Conference?
The 4-5 in the Western was Memphis versus Portland. Memphis
that
won.
had great potential, but it didn't turn out to be the greatest series.
What we have to realize is, and when we say we mean Rockets fans, last year we didn't show up in the playoffs.
I think we could have won that series
if we had shown up for every single game. I hate to say it, but the series that we're having right now with the Clippers is so reminiscent of the series we had with the Trailblazers last year. And it's like, God, guys,
because we know we can be better than that team.
Exactly.
You know, it's just I don't know if it's a mental thing. I don't know if they're getting caught off guard with something the Clippers are doing.
Maybe it's coaching. Maybe Kevin McHale. This is as best as Kevin McHale can do.
Maybe.
You know, maybe this is the best he can do. Maybe, I hate to say, maybe we need a new coach.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't go that far because the thing is, it really just is a maybe. Or maybe the Clippers are really outplaying the Rockets because, to be honest with you,
he's being I think it's more outcoached.
It's
just based on what I've seen.
Well, the one thing I can say is that the Clippers have the one type of player that I like more than any other player. Well,
which one's that?
I take that back. My favorite type of player is a dominant center that can really, really play the game of basketball, like David Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon,
DeAndre Jordan. Unfortunately, he can't shoot free throws. Right when I say he can't shoot free throws, he goes and makes one.
Like a Patrick Ewing. But my second favorite type of player is a facilitator who can get triple doubles.
But we're talking about Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
You know Chris Paul is coming off of a hamstring injury. He's still kind of banged up. And we're having problems stopping this guy? Come on, man. When we heard Chris Paul was having like ankle injuries and stuff, not ankle, hamstring injury in the last game with the Spurs, that should have been our moment to be like, dude.
Oh my god, did you just see that?
Yeah, no transition defense.
No, he threw the ball under the leg of one of the Rockets. I mean, albeit he was like 40 feet in the air. But anyway, I mean, there have been so many advances in medicine and technology and all that good stuff that, he has a hamstring injury, but it might not be hurting him at all. It might be hurting him after the game.
He didn't play in the first 2 games.
Okay, well, I mean, but I'm talking about right now.
We lost the first game.
Okay, but we won the second one. It's like any given Sunday.
I just think we're either mentally or game prep wise, we just don't seem ready for.
Or maybe we're trying too hard.
Who knows? Maybe there's that. One thing I would say, as a Houston Rockets fan, I would like to see Corey Brewer and Josh Smith stop shooting 3-pointers. When they take more 3-pointers than James Harden, there's an issue.
Well, I mean, statistically, what's a good 3-point shoot? 30, 40%?
Something like that.
Are they 30, 40%?
No, they're like 5-10%.
Don't make me do this.
I'm talking about the last couple of games, dude. It was ridiculous.
Okay.
Corey Brewer.
Okay, so are you telling me
Corey Brewer was like 1 for 9.
Okay, but are you telling me if
1 for 9
Steph Curry is like 14%?
Okay, first of all,
let me finish my question. If Steph Curry is like 14% for threes in like 4 or 5 straight games, are you going to tell one of the greatest 3-point shooters of all time to stop shooting threes?
That's different though. He's a 3-point shooter. Josh Smith and Corey Brewer are not 3-point shooters. Right when I said that, Corey Brewer goes and shoots. Oh no, never mind. It's Jason Terry. What I was say,
Jason Terry is one of the greatest 3-point shooters.
Exactly. Now, if you tell me Jason Terry's shooting threes, I have no problem with that. Right? But no. Anyway, so let's go to the Western Conference though. You're talking about 4 and 5 seed. Mm-hmm. You have the 4th seed in Memphis. There's a 4th seed or 5th seed in Memphis going against the number 1 seed in Golden State. With Memphis being up 2-1. Who you got winning that one? Memphis or Golden State?
Golden State.
I got Memphis. I think Memphis is a matchup problem for Golden State.
No, Golden State. They're going to make it to the Western Conference Finals, but they're going to lose to whoever comes out of the
Rockets Clippers.
Yeah.
Now,
because they're really good,
but they rely on the 3-pointer too much.
Yeah, you live by the jump shot, you die by the jump shot.
That is true, and we witnessed the last 2 games that they lost. The jump shot ain't falling for them.
And here's the funny thing. Look, James Harden goes off,
mm-hmm.
the Rockets win. Steph Curry goes off, sometimes they still lose.
Exactly, that is true.
And don't get me wrong, I know the same can be said for the Rockets, but it's like when James Harden go. Like, when was the last time you saw James Harden go off and the Rockets didn't win?
Really, I can't answer that. I don't know.
Nobody ever said, "Man, James Harden went off, but they lost."
Yeah,
I've never really heard that. Now, I've heard a lot about Steph Curry, and albeit they didn't lose very many games, but even in the games that he lost, mm-hmm. that they lost, I mean, Steph Curry is not consistently the MVP throughout every game. I mean, they got.
Funny you say he's the MVP. Because I got a huge gripe
MVP level.
I got a huge gripe with the MVP winner this year.
I agree with you.
Huge gripe.
But Steph Curry had another All-Star on his team.
Oh, yeah, Klay Thompson.
That was there most of the time.
And if I'm not mistaken, Klay Thompson did something that I don't think any other NBA player did before, which was got my alarm going off on my phone. Which was was like 30-something points in a single quarter. How many NBA players could I just dropped 30 in a game? No. 1 quarter.
That is a beast,
right? Yeah, and of course everyone's going to argue, oh, well, James Harden has Dwight Howard. He had Dwight Howard for half the season this year,
and he had a lot of C+ players on his team.
And don't forget the turnover by having to bring in Corey Brewer and Josh Smith. Thus, and let's not forget he lost the one consistent guy he had in Monty Eunice. Demo got hurt and was out for the season. Terrence Jones was hurt off and on throughout the season. And
let's even go back to the beginning of the season. People thought that the Rockets were going to not be good at all with the loss of Chandler Parsons.
Exactly. We lost Chandler Parsons. Patrick Beverley got hurt. I mean, we don't have a true point guard anymore.
Patrick Beverley, I mean, yes, he probably isn't going to start any All-Star games anytime soon, but he's solid.
He's a solid defender, I'll say. Mm-hmm. Offensively, not so much, but defensively wise. Oh, if we had Patrick Beverley in this game right now, I think it would have been a lot different. Like this series right now, been a lot different. But no, I mean, the fact that James Harden lost to Steph Curry for the MVP. And it's not so much that he lost, but how many votes he lost by is just ridiculous.
I don't know what it is because, okay, who makes these votes? It's the media, right?
The media. And this is the thing. For anyone that wants to say, oh, well, Steph Curry had unbelievable stats this season, I'm going to give you some stats right now, Javi. I'm going to drop some on you right now. I'm going to give you... You have 2 players to choose from, right? One of them gives you 27 points per game, 7 assists per game, and roughly 6 rebounds per game, right? The other one gives you 23 points per game, roughly 8 assists per game, and 4 rebounds per game. Who's the better player?
Without getting on into the whole, it all depends. If you were to just ask me straight up, who would you rather have, without asking all those tedious questions?
Yeah,
I would say the first one.
The first one, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's James Harden, by the way. All right, mind you, James Harden was pretty much the only offensive power on the Rockets. If you think about it, Steph Curry is not the only offensive power. So his 23 points per game comes from people saying, okay, there's Klay Thompson, Andre Iguodala, Steph Curry, all these other guys we got to focus on. Andrew Bogut down low, all this stuff, right? So yes, he's going to get more open shots than James Harden. And anyone that wants to give me the argument, oh, James Harden goes to the free throw line a lot, guess what? If teams don't foul him while he's driving to the lane, he's getting those layups and those dunk points anyway. So don't say, oh, well, he goes to the free throw line. You know, he's not a 100% free throw shooter, so he could even have more points per game if we look at it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's looking for the fouls. I mean, these guys are basketball players. Exactly. They know where they need to be and where they not need to be to cause a foul or, you know, to prevent a foul.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'll give you some more stats here. All right. So we talk about how James Harden doesn't play any defense whatsoever. Steph Curry averaged 2 steals per game. James Harden averaged 2 steals per game. Steph Curry averaged 0.2 blocks per game. James Harden averaged 0.7 blocks per game. Oh, well, Steph Curry doesn't turn the ball over. Steph Curry turned the ball over 3 times per game. James Harden turned the ball over 4 times per game. What are the stats we got to look at, folks, to see that James Harden got robbed on this one? Oh, wait, that's right. James Harden was on the 2 seed, not the number 1 seed. Last time I checked, to get to your seeding, it's a team sport, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think Steph Curry carried the Golden State Warriors to the 1 seed. I think James Harden, though, on the other hand, he carried the Rockets to the 2 seed.
Now, let's not get it twisted, folks. We are not saying that
Steph Curry's a bad player or anything like that.
He's an amazing player. If he was on the Rockets right now, we would sweep every single...
There's no stopping the Rockets at that point, right? But did he deserve the MVP this season? Hell no.
Well, the only thing I'll say is that some people don't understand the term MVP. Some people take MVP as the best all-around player, right?
Mm-hmm.
Other people see MVP as the best, like the most valuable player, like who helped their team the most. And other people see MVP as who had the best stats.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it is hard. Now, is Steph Curry an MVP player? I say yes.
Yeah.
But we're looking at it as who helped the team the most and who was more important to the team.
Exactly.
That's the real thing. And James Harden was most important to the team. And for him to get the team to the number 2 seed in a freaking
in the
West.
In the West. We're not talking about the East where you could be negative and make the playoffs with the 6th seed.
Yeah.
No.
We're talking about it came down to the final 2 games of the season for most teams in the West, and the way that it was looking, the Rockets in the last 2 games, the Rockets could have either been the second seed or the 6th seed.
No,
7th?
Yeah, 2nd or 7th.
That's how competitive it was. Look at some of the players that we were going up against. Chris Paul, Blake Griffin on the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
Well, they were 1 seed locked. They were locked into the 1 seed.
Right.
But we're talking about. You're also looking at Okay, Chandler Parsons, Dirk Nowitzki. You're talking about
and Rajon Rondo. I mean,
Rajon Rondo.
Yeah, he was garbage.
You're looking at the trio in San Antonio: Tony Parker, Tim
the defending
Duncan.
champions. They only get better with age.
I mean, and for the Rockets to be able to cinch not the third seed, not the second seed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go over the players that they lost. They had no Patrick Beverley. They had no Dwight Howard. They had no Monty Eunice, and Terrence Jones was now coming back from an injury. Four of their original day one starters, all out hurt.
Mm-hmm.
4. You know what? How many teams can say, "Oh, we lost our 4 of our starters, and we're fighting for the number 2 seed"? How many teams can say that? You take away Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, Kevin Love, and Tristan Thompson from Cleveland. Are they even in the playoffs?
I don't even think you need to take out Kyrie Irving or Kevin Love. If it was LeBron James and those nobodies. Well, LeBron James is a special case. Okay, look at what happened with Kyrie Irving. Remember when he got drafted?
Okay,
and everybody thought he was like the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah,
and he could not carry a team
exactly.
the way LeBron did.
Okay, you leave Steph Curry by himself with a bunch of no-name players. Does he take that team to the playoffs as a number 1 seed or number 2 seed even? I don't think so.
I think he would take him to the playoff as a number 7 seed, but I do think his stats get better.
I think his stats
maybe not so his assists, but I think he would probably be at about 30, 31 points a game.
Yeah. Look what happened to Oklahoma. You take Kevin Durant and Serge Ibaka and Russell Westbrook off that team. Look what happened to them. They fell apart.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or, even when it was just Ibaka and Durant off the team and Westbrook was there. Yeah, Westbrook was putting up 40 points per game.
Who else was going to put the points up?
But answer me this. Did they make the playoffs, though?
Did they win, though? Yeah, no, they didn't.
Right? I mean, James Harden, I don't want to say single-handedly, but he almost pulled a LeBron.
Yeah, almost what a Jordan did away. Think about it.
He pretty much said, Rockets, we lost 4 of our starters. Doesn't matter. Put them on my back. We're gonna roll into the playoffs still.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't just look and say, "Oh, well, he plays for the number 1 seed. That means he's the best player." That's stupid. It takes a team to make it to the number 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the Atlanta Hawks. They don't have any dominant players on their team, but guess what? Their team, they play as a team. They're the number 1 seed. A team gets the number 1 seed. A dominant player gets his team to the playoffs.
No, you're right. But and like I said, it just really comes down to what the people are looking for. And when you put the votes into the hands of the media, I just wish... I don't know.
I think the fans also have a little bit of a vote, too.
Yeah, but the fans voted Yao Ming into the All-Star game.
You gotta thank China for that.
Yeah, exactly. So I wish there was a more legit way of voting.
Like a formula.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily a formula because certain players would probably fall out because of the fact that they didn't score this many points, the fact that they didn't get this many rebounds. I wouldn't mind it being is it 30 coaches in the NBA? 32 coaches?
32 coaches? 30.
I wouldn't mind seeing
the coaches vote.
The 30 coaches vote.
That would be a good idea too.
Because I don't think anybody would vote against somebody that, like, supposedly that their team hates. Because why would you want to, like, put yourself in a situation where you didn't vote for an obvious pick, and then you have a chance to get that player in the draft? Okay, so you didn't vote for him, but now you want him on your team.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind seeing the coaches vote.
Cool. That'd be a good. Or
maybe
vote. Maybe the coaches and the assistant coaches and the assistant coach or something like that. If you want to have more people vote,
Yeah.
Maybe do something like that. But
just a thought.
Well, let's. So
I guess let's
What?
I guess that means we're coming to an end. We got about like 10 minutes left.
Yeah, we got about 10 minutes left in our podcast.
All right, so let's predict who's going to win. Chicago versus Cavaliers.
That's your pick? Oh, Chicago versus Cavaliers. I got the Cavs taking it in 7.
I got the Cavs taking it in 6. Hawks and Wizards.
You know, even though I haven't watched any of the games, I'm still going to go with the Hawks just because they play as a team. I say the Hawks going to come back and win in 6.
What's the series at right now? 2-1.
2-1. Washington's up.
Okay. You said Hawks in 7?
6. Hawks in 6.
I say Hawks in 5. I think they're going to win 3 straight.
You think so?
I think they're that good of a team.
Wow.
They just needed something to wake them up.
Maybe being down 2-1 wakes them up.
Okay, so who goes to the finals between the Cavs and the Hawks?
Oh, man. You know, I think it's going to come down to see how much, how badly the mental wear is between with the Bulls series for the Cavaliers. If it comes down to where it's like a Game 7 that goes to overtime or anything like that, I'm going to take the Hawks because I think they'll be mentally and physically fresher than the Cavs. And I think what we're going to see with the Cavaliers this year is kind of like what happened with them when they faced the Mavericks that first season. First year when LeBron was with the Heat.
Well, that first year, everybody didn't know whose team it was, and LeBron and Dwayne admitted it. They played my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn kind of thing. No, from now on, it is LeBron's team. It's always his turn. He decides when and where the ball is going to go. But now everybody knows it is LeBron's team.
Yeah, but what if... I don't know. We'll see how... I think it's going to come down not so much to how LeBron reacts, but more of how Kyrie Irving reacts.
Well, I think Kyrie wants to win. And if that means shutting up...
It's one thing to win. It's one thing to want to win. It's another when you're there on the big stage for the first time.
Right, and LeBron's been there 5 times. So
why wouldn't... LeBron's been there.
Right.
But remember, LeBron can only do so much.
Right. But Kyrie's going to have to nut up and follow LeBron every step of the way.
He's going to have to. Mm-hmm. If he doesn't, though, then that falls off on him, you know? So if we go... I'm going to go ahead and say... I'm going to say the Hawks. Hawks in 6.
Okay. Now let's do Western Conference. I'll say Cavs in 6.
Cavs in 6.
Mm-hmm.
See, if I go Cavs, I'm going to say it's going to be a 4-game sweep.
No. The Hawks are too good to get swept, but LeBron is too good to, to not make it to the finals.
So the Western Conference, and you guys could call me, say I'm playing to my hometown and all that stuff, but I'm picking the Rockets over the Clippers.
If we said that, then we would have to call every single Miami Heat fan. You know.
But yeah, I'm going to go Rockets over Clippers in 6. They're going to win tonight. Actually, no. To be on the safe side, I'm going to say 7 in 7.
The Rockets in 7.
Yeah, Rockets over the Clippers in 7.
I could see that. Yeah, I say the same thing. Rockets in 7.
All right, then we got Memphis and Golden State.
I think Golden State.
I say Memphis. Memphis in 5. I think Memphis is going to win the next 2 games and just take it.
I say Golden State in 7.
Man, you have faith in Golden State.
Well, I mean, Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, you can't really deny that.
True. But yeah, I got Memphis in 5. I think they close it out in the next 2 games. So I guess for me it'd be between the Rockets and Memphis.
Yeah.
Between the Rockets and Memphis, I'll take the Rockets in 5.
Okay. Rockets in 5.
And who do you got then, since it'll be Golden State and the Rockets?
If it's going to be Golden State and the Rockets?
Yeah.
Golden State in 6.
Golden State in 6?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
trust me, I love the Rockets, and I think they have a great team.
You have something in the championship just yet? Championship?
Well, it's not just that. It's the fact that they lost to Golden State 4 times.
Dude, that's regular season. It don't matter what you do in the regular season.
I know. But we had those players in the regular season. Some of the players that you said weren't there, some of them were there. Not all of them. I didn't say not all of them. I said not all of them were there.
All right.
I think there's only so much Dwight Howard can do, especially when
true.
Klay Thompson and Steph Curry are shooting 3s.
True. But
Dwight can't get to him.
He's going to get the rebounds. That's what matters.
True.
Matters. But
Second
okay,
so
let's see. That leaves.
So you have
Rockets, Cavaliers. So let's do yours first, because I got a funny story about that scenario.
Okay. the Cavaliers will sweep the Golden State Warriors.
I can see that happening too if it comes down to that. I could see that happening very easily.
Because it's just going to be like when the Oklahoma City Thunder went to the finals. Young team, great players, best record in the league.
I see. I honestly see LeBron from the how when they were playing the Spurs, how they're like Tony Parker's just destroying them, and then they're like, hold on, LeBron's guarding Tony Parker now, and then it just fell apart for him after that.
Yeah,
I would not be surprised if we see right off the bat LeBron's on Steph Curry.
Why not? Right?
I mean. And if you're Steph, I don't see Steph Curry being able to get through that,
Because I think the Cavaliers have a better team without LeBron.
Without LeBron,
than the Golden State Warriors have
without Steph Curry being in the game.
Curry. So I think if you neutralize
Steph Curry,
and I think Steph Curry can play some decent defense on LeBron. I still think LeBron will beat Steph Curry, not by much. Mm-hmm. I still think he'll beat him. But I think the Cavaliers team can beat the Golden State team.
I mean, Kyrie Irving's a good defender too, so maybe we might just see how Kyrie Irving does against Steph Curry first.
I really think Kyrie Irving's overrated.
He's decent for what he's good. He's a good player. He's a good player.
He was the number 1 draft pick.
He's a good player.
He's a good player. Yeah,
I think he's going to get better with LeBron there, but he's a good player. So the story with the funny thing with the Rockets and the Cavs. Do you know what LeBron James' record is against teams from Texas in the NBA Finals?
I want to say 0.1 to 3.9.
0.1 to 3.9?
I know the official is 1-3. But
yeah.
They barely beat the Spurs.
So, LeBron James' record against teams from Texas at the NBA Finals is 1-3. He's lost to the Mavericks twice. No, once?
Once, yeah.
And he lost to the Spurs 3 times, right?
Twice.
Oh, it's twice.
They beat the Spurs once, but
yes,
barely.
Yes.
It took them the game. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't a cakewalk for the Spurs either. That series went down to the final seconds of Game 7.
Yeah. Let's go back to the Game 6 though, of the series that they won of the championship they won against the Spurs, right? They had split a couple seconds left on the clock, down by 3. Fans already out the arena, and what happens? Ray Allen,
the greatest 3-point shooter of all time, depending on who you talk to and depending on what stats you look at.
Ray Allen goes and drops a 3-point bomb that got people complaining that because they couldn't get back in the stadium. Right? So I get what you say. They're 1.9.
0.9. 0.1.
0.1? Oh yeah, 0.1 to 3.9.
Because they almost lost it. I understand a win is a win, but
they almost lost.
They almost lost that series.
They almost lost that series.
Oh, I see where you're going. So if the Houston Rockets,
if they have a very good chance of beating the Clippers, not the Clippers, the Cavaliers in the final.
Who do we have that can hold
LeBron?
Yeah.
No, we let LeBron do him. We let LeBron do whatever he wants.
And they're also going to let James Harden do what he wants?
No, what we're going to have to do is everybody else on our team is going to have to step up and shut down the rest of their team. We're going to have to do what most teams do to the Lakers. All right, let Kobe shoot all the shots. Nobody else is getting the ball, though. That's what we got to do, LeBron, you want to put up 40 points? Go ahead, but the rest of your team's only going to put up 10 or 20.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is there any way that for at least 2 games of the series, and I know this is going to sound ridiculous, is there any way that maybe Dwight can hold LeBron?
I'm pretty sure they would consider it. You know what? Trevor Ariza is a good lockdown defender. I wouldn't mind seeing him. He doesn't have the body to physically go up against LeBron, but he can give him a little grief here and there.
Is LeBron still able to break ankles?
I don't think he breaks ankles so much. I think he just backs people in. The problem though with that, if it does happen to get to the Rockets, is Ariza would have the reassurance of having Dwight there to back him up a little bit, so that might help out some. So it might force actually having Dwight there would probably force LeBron James to take more jump shots than dunks and layups.
Well, LeBron is still a pretty good 3-point shooter.
Oh no, I'm not saying he's not, but think about it. He has a better chance of missing that than a layup or a dunk,
Right. You have a better chance of getting the rebound.
Exactly. So, I mean, it would be interesting to see what happens there, but I would say the Rockets would lose to the Cavaliers in 6 games if that was to be the case.
Yeah, I can see 6 games.
All right. Well, to close out the episode, I'm gonna go ahead and just repeat the question for our giveaway then. And make sure and just shoot us a message on the Facebook page. You can just message us by hitting message and send us a message that way. Mm-hmm. Once again, the question is, what is 7 times 13? And the clue that I'm going to give you is that a great comedic duo came up with that question. And no, we're not talking about us. We're talking about somebody else.
Well, you say comedic duo, and this one is just a comedic uno, which is me.
Wow. Really?
You're not funny.
Thanks.
You're funny looking.
Wow.
So yeah, we are not going to promote this. We are not going to say, hey guys, look at this, look at that. If you're a real fan and you actually listen to the podcast,
you'll know what to do. Exactly, you know what to do. And the best part, to make sure you guys, and we're going to be a little bit of a dictator about this again, to make sure you guys listen to it, we're not going to say it at the same points throughout every episode. It's going to happen sporadically, randomly in the episodes.
Because we do what we want.
And that's how we are. I mean, we're like a mouse. That's how we are.
Also, you just gotta listen to it, but get into him. There's no way you can cheat your way into this.
Exactly. You know what? If you guys have any suggestions, ideas, opinions, want to be on an episode with us or something like that, let us know.
I actually have a couple people that say they want to be on the show.
I know. One of them's for video games. One of them's for Supernatural, right?
Well, I invited the one for Supernatural. She said yes.
Okay.
So
we're going to get in contact with her. She got all contact information. Got that covered? Yes, no, maybe so.
We're friends on Facebook.
All right, that's good enough. So, but yeah, we're definitely open to ideas and suggestions from you guys, and we're actually over our hour mark, buddy. We try to pride ourselves on staying under an hour for these people.
Well, I mean, we're actually right. We're 30 seconds away from the second quarter mark.
Second quarter
for the basketball game.
For the basketball game.
So in a way, we have like another 30.4 seconds.
Yeah, let's see if we can. Well, in basketball terminology, that's like another 5 minutes.
Okay, well then we have a question. You say that Steph Curry didn't steal, but James Harden got screwed out of the MVP, right?
Yeah.
Well, then let's talk about. I'll name one. You name one. Greatest MVP screw jobs. I'll go first.
Oh, yeah, you go first. I already got mine.
One of my. Okay. It's like when the Heat won the finals. Mm-hmm. The Heat needed to win. LeBron needed to cement his legacy. Mm-hmm. The Spurs did not need another championship. They won another one afterwards. What I'm trying to say is Tim Duncan did not need another freaking MVP. Mm-hmm. Jason Kidd should have won the MVP in 2002.
Did they go to the finals that year?
Jason Kidd got put onto the Nets, made them a contender for 3 to 4 years after that, and they went to the finals twice and lost to superior teams.
One of them was the Lakers, wasn't it?
And one of them was the Spurs.
And I'm just going to let you know that the one that they lost to the Lakers, that was the year the Lakers went through the Sacramento Kings, right?
They almost got beat by the Kings.
Yeah, that was the one that the Lakers, that the Kings got robbed from making the NBA Finals.
That was one of the greatest series.
That was a huge screw job against the Kings.
Yeah, that was one of the greatest series to me. Because the Lakers did play that game. They did get some calls in their favor.
Dude, some calls?
But still. Shaq and
if
Kobe
I'm not mistaken, at one point Chris Webber was laughing on the bench and got a technical foul for that, dude.
Tim Duncan did too.
I'm just saying, that's just so stupid.
I agree.
Like, this fool's laughing on the bench. How are you going to give him a technical foul? Come on, man. Who was it? That was with Vlade Divac and Pedro Stojakovic and all of them, right?
Dude, that rivalry there was amazing.
It was great, but they robbed the Kings so badly. Like, so badly. It was not funny. I'm sorry. Anyway.
That's cool. But yeah, Jason Kidd. Do you agree?
I'll agree. You're right. Tim Duncan didn't need it. They should have given it to Kidd.
I mean, Tim Duncan played amazing, but I think Jason Kidd was the MVP of that league.
And I guess this would be the argument to yours would be, Steve Nash did not need another MVP. He had won 2 in a row. Mm-hmm. Dirk Nowitzki was in dire need of an MVP. He had.
Holy crap! DeAndre Jordan just had 28 free throw attempts in the quarter. I mean, in the half.
Yeah, that just happened. Guys, we just witnessed a history in the making with us. DeAndre Jordan just had 28 free throw attempts in a half. He didn't make them all. He didn't make very many of them, but he had that many attempts. Which, even though... Anyway, going back to once again, Steve Nash didn't need another one. He already had 2. He already won back-to-back.
But was he MVP caliber that year?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Dude deserved it. They should have given it to him. But they gave it to Dirk Nowitzki, which, granted, he did play a beast of a season, too.
Dirk Nowitzki... But I hate him because he flops a lot, and I hate him because he always kills the Rockets.
Not only that, he argues every I kid you not. Every time he goes for a shot, if it does not go in, he is looking at the ref asking for a foul.
Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to win.
Like, seriously, there's nobody around him. Shoots it. Where's the foul? It's like, dude, you lobbed that from half court. Well, no one's around you.
Well, I mean, if you win, you win. I mean, how many players play the game down the middle and play it great and make it to the finals? Very few. Michael Jordan,
LeBron James,
Magic Johnson, LeBron James, Larry Bird,
Hakeem Olajuwon. Yeah,
I would say David Robinson as well. No, but he did play a little dirty sometimes too.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, but yeah, no, I think Steve Nash should have wanted that for 3 years in a row. Mm-hmm. I think they were just like, there's no way we can give this pipsqueak of a guy three MVPs in a row. Because if I'm not mistaken, around this time, this was around the time where it was all about like bigger, stronger, better.
Well, I don't know. I would just say Dirk Nowitzki was okay. It's like when Kevin Durant won the MVP. Mm-hmm. Some people were saying he shouldn't have won an MVP because all he did was just score more because Westbrook wasn't there. That's all he did.
But the Thunder were good though, as with him scoring all those points. They were winning games. They were dominating games.
Right.
In a sense, if you think about it, Durant played better without Westbrook than with Westbrook.
Well, I don't know what to say.
Anyway,
it just all depends on what stats you want to look at and who you like. And let's be honest, there are a lot of biased people out there.
Anyway, we're gonna leave on that note, folks. We're gonna be out of here. Stay happy, stay
healthy.
Speaking of healthy.
Have you given your daughter any of those vitamins I gave you?
Nope. I'm gonna have to. Dude, you got anything to protect my knee from a desk?
Yeah, I got it in my pocket right now.
Thanks.
Can you pronounce that?
Glucosamine 7.
You know what the 7 stands for?
7 different flavors?
No, it's just one flavor.
Oh.
2 things. One, it's got 7 different ingredients that make it what makes it.
Uh-huh.
And 2, you get your joints start to feel better in 7 days.
All right, well.
It's been pharmaceutically proven. It's not even. Well, I'm not gonna go that far. But anyway, it's made by one of the greatest vitamin companies. Mm-hmm. Your body needs vitamins and minerals, right? Yeah. Well, this company invented the first multivitamin.
Well, I'll definitely give it a shot and see how it does. See how I feel in 7 days. Maybe cool. Shaq could have used it before he fell and busted his ass the other day.
But he played it perfectly by just staying there.
Oh yeah. For a second there, I thought Orton showed up.
I'm surprised he didn't argue the call. Like, where's the foul?
He couldn't make the free throws.
He wasn't ready. Oh, you know what he should have? Wow, look at that. 15,090 steps today.
But you weren't even walking just now. We've been sitting out for an hour.
It's telling me I've been sitting out for an hour. Maybe I should take a walk.
Okay.
But I did more than twice as what you say your record is for the day.
All right, guys. Well, we'll be out. We will be back. We'll be better. We'll be great.
And
you guys will be great.
Kyle's joints will feel better too.
We'll be 7 days till from the next one. All right.
Wait, is this an official episode or is this like a sub episode?
This is gonna be an official episode. Actually, we're gonna make this one an official episode because we put the question out there. Let's see how many people get the joke.
All right, 7 times 13, guys. Come back with the answer.
See ya.
Peace.